Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Guys, let's hear your guys' story first, because you probably have literally the best story of getting to Columbus. Okay? You probably have the best story of getting to Columbus.
What's it?
Epicus was here on the.
He got here on a direct flight.
Yeah.
But, we had to connect, and there was like at least 6 or 7 delays, and we got to Columbus like yesterday morning at like 3 in the morning, and it was a total pain in the ass like the whole way, especially in Dallas. And but we made it. Made it to open training. We made it to today. We were able to see a city dub in preseason.
Dude, that was nasty, wasn't it? It was nasty.
It was. I mean, I'm so glad they got the dub because. I mean, they lost the last 3 games. You know what I mean? It's only preseason, but you don't want to see your team lose.
Well, especially when we're on this tour.
Yeah, on tour. But like today, they got a pretty clean W against another Premier League team, and you love to see it.
Absolutely.
Halal scored for every game we lost.
Yeah,
big facts. Big fucking facts.
Came through.
Will.
Yes.
Let's go over the training a little bit before we go into the match against first Barcelona, and then second we'll get into the Chelsea match.
Yes, sir.
So training, we all got up in there, right?
Yeah, we were all up in there.
What are one of the biggest factors biggest things that you saw during training that you think is going to help our squad going forward, especially in the early times where we know that we're not going to get a full first team? We're still going to be out Phil Foden. Mm-hmm. We're still going to be out Johnny Stones. We're still going to be out Ruben Diaz. We're still going to be out Bernie, right? Mm-hmm. Of all the players that you saw in training and in the preseason, who do you feel is the biggest impact?
Man City right now is like it's like an album. You got the greatest hits. That's your Gavaldiol.
Yeah.
Your Haalands, your Grealish, your Rico Lewis's.
Sure.
You know what I mean? James McAtee. I mean, those are the ones that, like, okay, you had a podcast where we were talking about the kids and stuff.
Sure.
Those kids are only going to know Haaland. You know what I mean? So us as fans, we know what needs to be sharpened and what needs to be sharp. What needs to stay sharp.
Sharp, right.
You know what I mean? And these guys, dude, Rico Lewis is still keeping us fucking sure of his position. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? James McAtee, he's back, and he's back, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, and he's really his form from Sheffield to us has improved night and day. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know if you guys remember a couple of seasons back, he spent a little bit of time in our first team. impactful in some certain ways, but needed some fine tuning. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And Sheffield gave him that. And now that he's back with our first team, he's really making a fantastic impact with the first team. And I can definitely see him getting into the side later going into the season and maybe having a few more repetitions going into the winter break and thereafter.
I think he has the right mentality though, because in a press conference he was saying that he was willing to do whatever it takes to be a first team player.
Yeah,
and that's the kind of player that you want, as opposed to say someone like Calvin Phillips, who flubs his training and is a kilogram off. And in this squad, if you're a kilogram off your fitness regimen, you're yeeted out of the squad.
Yeah,
as we have seen. And it's weird because even Calvin Phillips seems like he wants to be back in the squad, but I don't think he'll be back in the squad. I think he'll be blown down.
Oh no, he'll definitely be on the line.
Yeah, but James McAtee for sure, I think, is someone that has heads in the right place and will more or less make the team eventually. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
And somebody that became a rock star, fucking Oscar Bob here, Joe.
Oscar Bob has been on another fucking level, man. He
level.
really improved over this offseason. Very happy with his production. I'm very happy with the way that he's brought himself up and tried to really make a bond, especially with Holland and Grealish in the attack in this preseason. I really hope that he gets some time, but we know that Savino is going to end up getting most of the time on the right wing, probably, from what we understand. Let's talk a little bit about Jack Grealish. Ipkiss, you're the new guy to the fucking crowd.
Yeah. Always behind the scenes,
he's always behind the scenes. So let's get your take on Jack Grealish this offseason.
Well, his calves are pretty huge in person.
Jack Fever!
Nah, big fan of Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
I was stoked to see him in person today. I was asking Fix right now if Oscar Bob's injury was serious or not.
And, honestly, you can really take an injury two ways, especially when we're this early on. I don't think that Bob is hurt. I don't say he's not hurt. I think that there's times where you say, you know what, I've kind of had enough, so I'm going to take it easy. And that was his time. But also the way that it looked, it's very potential that it could be something lower between his calf and closer down to his Achilles. I don't know. I hope the best for him because we're really going to need him this coming season, especially when we're talking about Savino, somebody who's new coming into our side. And we all know that it usually takes about a year to get into Pep's side and really immerse as a player. And flourish. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what happens there. I don't think that Bob's going to have much of a time off an injury. I think if he does have an injury, it'll be 3-4 weeks. So, we're going to be walking into preseason with a lot of people who already aren't there, and that may hurt us in points if we don't capitalize on some of these early games, which, Pep's already said. Going into this season, we already know that we're going to be a little behind. And that's good. That's fine. Because I really believe in this team, especially when we go into the business end of the season, that we'll be able to fulfill what we need as far as points go and at the right place in the right time.
It's okay. We can let Tottenham be the September.
Right.
Every year. Cameron, if you're watching this. Looking at you, buddy.
Oh, man. All right. So let's get into Barca real quick. The Barca match left a lot to be desired. I think that the really young squad that Barcelona put out against us was really telling, especially against some of the players that we had in our squad. I feel that even in that game that we had a better squad comparatively to them. But the scoreline didn't tell that. So what do you guys think was probably the biggest thing that we needed to do against Barcelona in order to obtain
the I think the whole preseason it's not a lot. Take it with a grain of salt. Shining result, there's some shining parts to it.
Sure.
But this is a young team where we're feeling a lot of young academy players. So they're gonna make mistakes and stuff, and we're gonna drop to a team like Barcelona. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't think there's too much to read into it other than the fact that like we had a lot of the losses that we've had this preseason. It's like, okay, we don't have a lot of those players there, the first team players there.
Yeah.
So it's just like you might see some players like drop, like get beat by some other player. You know what I mean? There's like you can like start reading a lot into it, but other than that, you know what I mean. That's what you get. I mean, like we our record for preseason is 1-3. We lost 3 games.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of young academy players that were in that side. We only had like Jack Grealish and Oscar Bob and Holland who were our first team players. So you know what I mean. So that Barcelona game is, as I've been watching the matches on TV, it's like okay, yeah, we lost, but
Right, c'est la vie.
Yeah, you know
Right.
what I mean. Whatever it will be, but like. I don't know, Barcelona. I mean, they have a good young academy, youth academy too. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
well, and especially with a new coach like Hansi Flick, he's come in, taken over for Xabi, and we know what a Hansi Flick side can look like, but we also know what a Xabi side can look like.
Yeah,
and with these young players that are coming up through the academy, I think that really showed a big strength for the Barcelona team going forward, because I think that we've all seen over the last few years where they've had quite a bit of good players in there. Robert Lewandowski, Pedri, name a player. They've really done well and they've blossomed. Obviously Lewandowski's in his sunset years, but nonetheless, they've done fairly well, especially in La Liga, where Girona and Real Madrid were the top 2 dogs for a while, and they were kind of contending with them.
Yeah, I mean that game was with Nico Riley stood out, and that's where we could possibly have a Rodri replacement. Or
yes,
Rodri, substitute.
Yes,
yeah. So that was what was revealed in that game.
For sure.
That was, yeah. So a draw 2-2, but we learned that we got Nico Riley. So like this whole transfer window, we don't need to be super adamant on getting something. Like I'll say this: was anyone really believe that we were going to get Kimmich from Bayern Munich?
No,
yeah,
not for a fucking second.
For all the seconds,
no. all the seconds. No, like because Kimmich is such a he's such an important player. Like he's the Rodri of Germany. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely,
they need him in Germany, and like who honestly believed that he was going to compromise that and just be like kind of like how we do with Ortega and Ederson, like we kind of just like change them out every now and then, like with Rodri. You know what I mean? Like Kimmich, like no, Kimmich's not gonna want it. He wants to be a number 1.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I remember when we were talking about that, people were talking about that in the winter window, like oh, we could possibly get Kimmich. So honestly, like we were gonna never get Kimmich. Like no, we're not gonna get Kimmich. So
and he's not going to want to be assistant player. He's not going to want to be assistant player, just like you said. Yeah. He's going to want that number 1 role. Mm-hmm. He's going to want to take over Rodri. And honestly, I'm sorry, but you can't take over the best CDM in the fucking game. It's just not happening. If we could put him if we could put Kimmich in an attacking role in the center mid, that'd be fine. But he's not that type of player. So we know that he's more susceptible to sit back and defend versus producing the attack.
Yeah.
And that's really what we need midfield. That's really what we need midfield right now.
That preseason match was more important for Barca.
It sure was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Hansi Flick gets to see what tools he has in the box.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And him seeing that a team like that can tie up to a nice academy like Cities.
Sure.
Is like, oh shit. I think we have a chance, to keep it good in La Liga, you know what I mean? Because we're talking about someone that's never done Spanish football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I mean the Germans are known for fucking,
especially
someone like Hansi
defensive.
Flick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and it's crazy. Like a lot of the rumors and such are kind of related to Pep all the time. When it comes to a move from Barca, Bayern, and all this, you're saying like someone recommended. And it's all going to trail back to fucking Pep Guardiola.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the line ultimately goes back to Johan Cruyff.
But I mean, Kompany's the coach for Bayern now.
Exactly. I think all of us can agree that being now that Kompany is in Bayern, that may be the low angle step of Kompany's actually going to end up being City's coach post Pep.
Yeah.
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
I think that would be great. Let's see what he can do for Bayern over the next 3 years.
Yeah.
And then make a reassessment.
The power of just having good character reference.
Sure.
Not be understated. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what is also preseason for? The referees.
Shut yeah.
That jackass in that Barca game not giving Holland's goal. That should not have been
Oh,
a fucking
man.
tie. We should have won that bitch in regular time.
Okay.
That ball bounced
It
inside
literally
of the
went
goal and then came
inside
out. Like,
the first 90
Ref.
degree angle.
preseason
We
for you
all
too, but
saw it.
you fucked that one up.
I think there was a mini earthquake from everybody's reaction at the same time.
Bro, had to been. Had to
Everybody.
been.
We all saw it on the television. We couldn't see it, and it was 20 yards in front of him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
No, no VAR in preseason. That's for sure.
So on the whole, up until today, I mean, preseason's been kind of lackluster. You know, we had literally 66.6 of our players were EDS players. The other 33.3% were our first teamers. So we can't really expect a whole hell of a
And
lot.
The only one that was a regular starter was Holland.
Right.
Grealish
Yeah.
was out.
Holland,
Bob,
Grealish, Bob were the dedicated starters for the
Yeah.
attack.
and Holland, like I said, Holland was the only one that started regular minutes during the season.
Yeah.
Rico and Oscar and Jack were all first teamers, but because of Jack's injury and form for most of the season, they weren't getting regular minutes. So we really wasn't a lot of guys getting regular minutes that was performing all season, getting that time in the summer. So,
Yeah.
which I think was great overall for these guys to get that time, because it was nice for the usual crew that are out to get that long needed rest, but also these young guys got a lot of fucking playing time this summer. So, and to continue to grow the city brand in the U.S., to have them get that at the kids to get that experience, but then to see the U.S. side and fan base get to see all these new young players, I think it's going to do a world of good.
Let me ask this question: do you think Jack Grealish earned a best spot back in the starting 11?
I think he starts the season as one of the starting wingers because
Early on.
And then if his form continues, then Doku is going to have to work his way back in.
Yeah.
To that spot. But Jack, it's perfect time to do it, because those guys aren't going to be ready to start the Community Shield next week or the following weekend when we play Chelsea again.
Yeah.
So I think Jack and Oscar Bob both have an opportunity to start matches early, important matches now. And if they play well, Pep has shown the guy who's playing well is going to get the minutes. So that would mean Savio, Doku are going to have to.
They're going to have to earn their way back
earn their way into getting those minutes on the wings, because those two, if they play well, are going to keep getting minutes, in my opinion. That's how I feel about it.
And we get more squads for the tournaments that we have.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We'll have our Carabao guy, our FA guy, our Champions League guy, and the EPL guy.
And it's been a really long time since we've had dedicated people for each competition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we over the last couple of years, we've kind of relinquished ourselves to the Carabao Cup and even some of the lesser competitions. Our focus has been the Premier League, Champions League, and the FA Cup.
For all the talk that we had a large, gigantic squad and Man City spends all this money on these people, we really didn't have
23.
A massive, big squad. We had depth at a good chunk of positions, but
Yeah.
some guys were covering in multiple spots. So it wasn't like we had 25, 26 guys. Now that these young guys are getting all this time, and it looks like a lot of them are ready for more minutes, now we have that opportunity to rest a Rodri, a Phil, especially Kevin, as he's getting older.
Yeah.
He's not going to need to play FA Carabao Cup early matches, because we have guys that Pep now has more trust and faith in, because he's seen them play in the preseason. So.
So let's track into today. Today was our matchup against Chelsea at the Ohio State Stadium. Absolutely gobsmacked by being there. I think for all of us, I can say this was a bucket list thing to do, is to go to the Ohio State Stadium. I don't think any one of us sitting here either thought that there was going to be as many people as there was there. We hit 71,000 in a dome, or excuse me, a bowl of 110. That's preposterous. I mean, that goes to show how much the game has grown here in the States.
Yeah.
One of the things that I will have to kind of put on blast is the lack of American engagement into chanting. You guys need to do better.
Poor Alex by himself.
Me and Alex were doing
No, it
it.
was not me. It was him. I saw Colby across the way, and he was like a marshal. He was like, dude, need more of you. Come on, and I'm like over here, just like, if you hate Man United,
Clap your hands. I heard it too. I heard it.
And I'm like, no, I give all the credit to Colby. Colby was fucking working it, dude. And I appreciate that energy there because, like, typically I'm that guy.
Yeah.
And I only go so far. My yeah, and, you know, and so, but like, yeah, I mean, just too many people too cool for school. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And like, they're like, oh, and I'm just like, you know, I try to work your way, but like, yeah, I just feel like even when we were outside the stadium, so we were handing out stickers outside the stadium, and we ran to someone who's like a mega fan of ours, and then
That was
also
cool, dude.
shout out Nathan, city ambassador,
Shout out
and
Nathan.
then also, but like this one guy, we're walking up, and it was like, Will was like trying to give a sticker. I was like, hey guys, follow us. He goes like, oh, we're good.
No.
And then
he said, no thanks.
no thanks. He was a younger kid, like must have been like 21 or 22. But his dad got the stickers. And like
A lot of the
nice.
OGs, we were getting respect from OGs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the
That's
kids are
that's
like,
the
I
younger
don't know you
generation,
from
bro.
TikTok, so get away from me.
That's the younger generation, bro.
And we saw it yesterday. Today it wasn't that. I didn't notice the kids today. I noticed a bunch of fucking guys like our
Right.
age, you
Like
know, that
middle
were
age
there to
guys,
fucking.
yeah.
The little ones were in our section, and they kept coming up to Colby and asking him to help them start a chant. But it happened like 3 or 4 times.
So
That
cute.
was that was a
So
highlight.
cute.
That shit was awesome. They're like, hey, can you help me start a
chant?
chant? And he was like, sure, no problem. What do you
What
want
were
to
those
do?
chants?
I mean, I had to teach them the basics. I mean, it's just
Oh,
really
okay.
where it comes
Okay.
from.
Come
So,
on,
like, come on, sit
sit.
And
and
they
then
were like,
sit.
putting their
sit,
hands
sit,
up,
sit,
they were
sit.
cheering.
Oh yeah,
It
dude.
was awesome.
Yeah, so there was a group of 3 boys, group of 3 girls right there at the end. I was probably about the 80th minute. I was down right there above the tunnel to go back into the concourse.
Yeah.
Right? And I was trying to get everybody from y'all's section and my section to just go absolutely fucking nuts. And there was 2 groups of these kids that came down. They were going out to the concourse and they were like, hey, can you help us start a chant? And I was like, absolutely. Come back. I'll tell you when the perfect time is. They all went down the concourse, came back up. I had them sit on each side of me, boys, girls. And I said, listen, on my count, you follow what I say.
Mm-hmm.
So, sit, come on, sit. Dude, to the boys and girls that came down there with me, shout out to y'all because you were the real fucking G's.
Yeah.
You guys, this is the future of our club.
They wanted to know.
And they wanted to know. They wanted to be a part of the culture and they wanted to grow and learn. And that's what we need. We need people who want to understand the club more than just being there on Saturday or Sunday and watching on Peacock or watching on Paramount Plus. It's so much more than that. And especially during preseason, to a lot of our English brother and sister over there, we understand that preseason doesn't mean anything.
Yes.
Just as preseason in American football doesn't mean anything to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the fact that we get this opportunity to spend and get into almost intimate with these players and be there and have this experience, it's the best thing that we got. So we're going to show up loud, proud, and loud as fuck for every single time that we go and see these guys. And that really, of in itself, should show the level of American like fandom to our British brothers and sisters. It's easy to pass off the judgment that we're going to be, you know, momentary fans or bandwagoners or whatever the hell you want to call us.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you knew the American mindset, and for a lot of the people who grew up watching American football or had a specific baseball, hockey, or basketball team, you'll understand the level of loyalty that we actually do have towards our teams, and we will not budge for anything.
No.
And this is no different for City. when City came into our lives, it was no different than like for me specifically. I'm a Steelers fan from Pittsburgh. I bleed black and gold. I bleed sky blue and peacock way more than I do black and gold now. So, and that's just to go to show. And I know that I can say that about Joe. I can probably say that about our homies here at the Kippax.
Yes, sir.
It's a whole other thing for us. It's religious. You know what I mean? And all of us guys, we talk every week. This isn't just a one-off thing where we're all in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
We all talk about the game, and we all trying to learn from each other at every point that we fucking get about this team, about the sport, about the culture, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that today, this weekend alone, just as Americans in the sport, should take us a long way. I know that there's a long road ahead of us of teaching the younger fan bases, even the fan base that's in our age range, about the culture of this team. New fans.
I mean, it takes a lot of education. I mean,
It really does.
I grew up playing baseball, and I didn't really understand what soccer meant to the world until I was like, in my 20s. Like,
Sure.
You know what I mean, that's through like reading and through like just observing things. I'm like, then I got that education, and it's a matter of passing that education off to the younger crowd. I am heartened by the fact that there are a lot of young kids who are showing up for these tours. So that means like that will come to fruition 8 years down the line. You know what I mean? 8-10 years down the line, where you see a lot of City fans. So like, it's like, and honestly, in many ways, the Preseason tour was meant to like cultivate the younger fan base for a future return.
You guys had an episode and you went off on the kids.
We didn't. Hold on.
Let me finish.
Keep going,
And I fucking agree. Fucking agree.
All right.
Because yesterday they were like, dude, chill. I'm tired of this shit.
No.
This feels like some Disney shit, dude. Like, this feels like Disney, like, holla. And then they were counting down 5, 4, 3 for their autographs.
Yeah.
Like, if Halan was going to run to the sign and be like, hey, kids, you guys ready to get your shit signed? Like, no, dude, it doesn't. What the fuck is
That's
this?
not the way that works.
I'm like, hey, mom, pop, come on, show these guys what's up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you got to show me. Because they're all like, oh, man. I'm like, dude, okay. I'm pretty sure Halan even was like, goddamn, dude.
You see that too? Like they're like at the training start, they kind of like go,
Right?
Like, come on.
It's just like,
come
goddamn.
over here, sign our stuff.
it's like being in a band. You have to like give an interview to like some magazine.
Even today, when they were selling the merch, I was like, dude, they're selling this shit like it's a fucking band, dude.
Yeah,
Like, straight the fuck
I
up.
didn't get when you said that.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't
you're
get
like,
it.
how much did you? 150. You're like, oh my god.
Oh,
Means whatever.
Okay,
dude.
hold on. So the maroon thirds that were released to us in the
They're pretty
past
sick.
couple weeks, they're sick,
I
right?
still like
How come? Sorry, all my Manx. Sorry. How come they slighted us on this one? So they brought the blue shirt over, and both replica and authentic, right? They did not do that for the third shirt. What the actual fuck? You missed the mark.
It just dropped this week.
It did, but you missed the mark. $160 for an authentic versus $110. If you want print, $130.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? Like, and they were doing that. And Chelsea was doing that. They were selling at the game today printed shirts with the new shirt, both white and the blue. I'm going to say that the white is absolutely nasty. Probably
In
one
a
of
good
the
way.
coolest.
Nasty in a good way.
Nasty in a good way. Honestly, one of the better whites that I've seen in the Premier League for a long
that they
time.
wore today, and you could get it in the authentic or the replica, so you had
Yeah.
options. So it
Where
was
City
doable.
didn't give that.
Yeah, it was doable.
The shirt you got at practice, the ones that you got for your kids, that was free, right? Or did you buy that?
The ones that I had last.
The black shirts. That's
no,
like
I
Chelsea.
had to buy them.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
why you kept saying that. I just
No, it was
For
not
some
free.
reason, I thought they
No,
were handing them in the
there's
front.
nothing free at these
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
I can tell you that right
'Cause
now.
I'm
No. There was one thing free that City gave away. It was pennants. They were
That was at
small
the
little
pop-up
pennants
shop.
at the
Pop-up
pop-up shop in North
Oh.
Carolina. So there was one thing, but all the rest it was same price for most.
And again,
Yeah.
this is the merch thing. If you went to any of the pop-up shops over the previous tours, locations, or tonight when you went at the Fan Fest and buying stuff, if you notice, this is all soccer.com. So they don't
Yes.
hate on the club, but soccer.com took all of the prices off of all of the merchandise.
Yeah.
So this shirt that I have this one with the light version. We got that
Yeah.
down in North Carolina. On soccer.com, that bad boy's $40.
Guess what I paid?
Same, yeah.
56.
I was gonna say so the markup is
60,
real,
yeah.
just like
Yeah.
you were talking about for a band, like on a concert.
Yeah.
Shirts going for $60. Same thing. The upcharge is real, but that's not the club, folks. So don't start banging on.
And you
Steve
saw
for
that line.
Yeah,
They're
the
making
line
business,
line
dude.
was
Yeah.
crazy long. So
Yeah,
it was 100% soccer.com. That's what they do. It happens. So what do you do?
It's kind of like when I said about that girl ugly crying for Jack Grealish. Like, dude,
Bro.
chill the
Dude.
fuck
Bro.
out.
Okay, can we talk about that real quick? That was a little obnoxious. Have you ever seen this girl? Chill out. And that's weird coming from us after we were just telling y'all about these kids that were telling us to chill out. Like, those emotions are a little strong. Like, you don't have, these aren't the Beatles.
Thank
These
you.
aren't the fucking Beatles, all right?
Alex
but-
was fucking with me. He said, dude, she's been around since the Mancini days. Chill.
Dude,
Is that for real? Is that for real?
Yeah.
Fact check that
And
one.
her favorite player was Kolarov. Alexander Kolarov.
Well, at least you can say
He's
cliche.
fucking with you. Don't fucking with you. He got me like that too. Dude.
Yeah, and she regularly goes like plastic fan, and to other people, and she ugly cries when Jack Grealish shows up.
That's cool. As long as you're not the OF girl that's been fucking with the South stand.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We see you.
Persona.
We see you.
Persona non grata.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. But
You remove yourself from the South stand for us.
I was surprised that she actually went at the game. You know, she's the only fans girl for Chelsea. That's all over the place. And-
Let Chelsea fucking do their
Yeah.
bullshit.
Hey, Joe, close your ears.
We were sitting in our on our row. Some of y'all's people from Hollywood. They were
Oh, yeah,
was like on our row.
Bernadette, Danny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
The
okay.
whole
All
room was
girls.
like right to our right.
Oh,
Amy,
shit.
Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all like right to our right, and they were joining in very
What was weird though was that like there's that we were sitting in our section because we were all parallel to each other. But then there was a row in front of us, and from what I gleaned was that it was like some special OSC pre-sale that they got all like right down there. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
And like, yeah, but like I don't know. Like I'll say this since I've been on 2 previous Man City preseason tours, that this was the least accessible tour like to the club.
That's very true.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
that is
like
very true.
because on previous tours, like you could walk up down to the side, and the players would come around. You get a signature and stuff.
Yeah.
This was before like all the little kids showed up.
Yeah.
And like you could do things, but like now they've like segregated things, so you're paying for an extra experience. And like like at the open training, they had like people who bought for the signatures, and also like special OSC people there.
They got to go down.
I got to go down there, and I
Yeah.
saw some like people that I know from Instagram down there, and I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, great, good for you guys. But it's like it just makes things super less accessible, and it's just like we're over here, like just like observing from a distance when it's like we're fans of this club too, as when just like
right.
the little kids are.
And we certainly put
and-
out a lot
and-
more for the club
yeah.
than most of the people that were sitting down
And also,
there.
like just like and like not gonna lie, I just hate some of the elitist behavior. A lot of some important. I'm not gonna name names, but there were some people there that were really twisting my melon, man. And like just too cool for school people, not just like that, but people who are like our other podcasts that are just too cool for school, and they don't want to mingle with other people, and also like just like special events at these other location and stuff where like the team was all behind it too and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just like seeing on Instagram. I'm like, cool, thanks for the invite, guys.
And we just want to say,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
we remember faces, dog.
yeah.
So we're just saying, dog. But yeah, and then the kids like you'll be like, hey, you like Halan? Yeah. Where do you know Halan from? From Clash of Titans.
Yeah,
Like,
the
oh
video
my
games and
God,
shit.
dude.
Yeah.
Like not from the
Absolutely.
soccer. Oh, he's in the soccer, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, dude, no, this is bad, bro. And I was telling him like, well, a lot of these kids next year, because I mean, Arsenal's fighting for their shit, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm like, a lot of if Arsenal takes the fucking league this year, a lot of these kids are gonna switch the fuck up, and they're gonna go to Arsenal, and you're gonna see a bunch of kids going soccer. You know what I
But
mean?
for what? What do you do in Euros? Nothing.
Or what?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Sokka's gonna be in Clash of Titans next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just saying.
Wow, target audience. They know where they know where
Right.
to find. They know where they're
You
gonna
know
find
what I'm
their.
saying? It's just
It's good business right there.
Yeah.
but yeah, the commercializing is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, cause I saw you guys talk about the first time when you guys went to see Celtic. And I was watching the podcast. I was like, maybe Kobe's being a little harsh. You know what I mean? But then I saw it and I saw, let's go City. Let's
We
go
shut
City.
somebody tried that once in our section. We shut that shit
There was
down.
a whole
Shut it down.
There was a whole OSC doing it
I heard them
behind
clapping,
us.
so I was like, "Oh, that sounds like a baseball chant." Please
Yeah.
stop.
I got crit.
I love baseball. I love my Orioles, but like that separate sport, different vibe.
Yeah.
Leave that there.
I
please.
got the douche chills, and if you're watching, you're like, oh, these guys. No,
And that
dude,
was nonstop
if you
in
were
Carolina,
there,
bro.
dude, you'd
Right,
be like,
right.
nah, that ain't it.
And let me just clarify for our listeners out there, because I know I put a clip out of me saying that I was yelling at children.
He was not yelling at children.
I was not yelling at children. He was a witness. My
My
son was a
my
witness.
children were there too.
His children were a witness. I was not yelling at children. When I said children, I was talking about this one specific dude and all the people around him who were clearly younger than us. The dude looked like Weird Al Yankovic. I'm being completely fucking honest. If he ever catches this, I hope you fucking saw it and you cut your fucking hair. It was awful.
And let's be real, like adults can act and behave
Sure.
just
Yeah,
like children.
sure.
So that description doesn't necessarily mean that it's an 8-year-old that we were.
Right. I was not screaming at 6-year-olds.
Adults. It was adults that were acting like children.
Yeah.
Is what
Yeah. So now that we've gotten that part of it straight,
Just so we're clear.
Yeah.
People took that so literally.
Oh my
I was
God,
wild, man.
dude! The TikTok blew up. These people,
Stop screaming
all
at
these
children.
fucking, all these Karens are like, "Oh my God, you're insane! You would yell at a child." No, but I'll fucking rip your ass apart if you really want me to.
Nah, if you would have seen Kobe today teaching the kids on China, I looked at him and
We
I
love
was
the
like,
kids.
aw.
Exactly.
very
I
awesome.
love the kids.
Yeah.
It was
I was
very
like, look at Kobe. That's
Kobe
that
for the
side.
kids.
That side.
Kobe for the
coming out
kids.
right
There you
go.
go.
New shirt.
New shirt.
Let's go.
Copyrighted. New shirt.
Listen, yeah, dude, I'm all about teaching the new generation
That's cool, dude.
the right way to cheer for our squad. And it's something that you have to pass down. It's something that you have to make a solid effort on, and saying, hey, this is how you root for or chant for our team.
Yeah.
This isn't, we're not, there's already a culture put into place. You cannot just make up your own culture because you're American and you want to do things different. There's already an established culture in Manchester. They have it set in place. You either get in line or get the fuck out.
We learned it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, let's conclude a little bit of what we saw through the first half. Then we're going to go to intermission. I'm actually going to bring on our Chelsea Blue friend, Zac Westrick.
Oh, I know that guy.
He's
Oh, I
going
know that guy.
to come on and have a little talk with you guys and his experience of all of this. He's actually an Ohio native, so he knows a little bit more about the culture here, especially with Ohio State. He has regularly visited the Ohio State Stadium and has had great experiences. So it'll be really awesome for him to convey those experiences. Not only that, but then compare it to what we saw today.
Yeah, he went to the Chelsea Celtic match.
Yes, he did in South Bend.
So he'll have another. He's had a couple of experiences.
Okay.
Yeah.
His team took an L from Celtic too, so we got a lot of.
Dude, that little fucking Asian dude is fast as shit. Can we be real? Holy shit.
That dude's quick.
He is so fucking fast.
We started quick today.
For
real
once.
quick.
Yeah.
For once.
A
Well,
justified
okay.
penalty, right
So
there.
this guy was like, we got their seats, and Will just kind of starts walking away for no reason. And I'm like, Will, where are you going? He's like, and he goes,
That's not
he
for a
goes,
reason.
"That-
That's
he
fucking
goes,
hot, dude.
No, he doesn't tell me.
I'm
shit.
thirsty.
He doesn't go, I want to get a beer. I'll be right back. He just like starts walking away. And I'm like,
I was good point.
what the fuck?
Bro.
And so he like walks away and like, you want to come with us? I'm like, no, I'll stay here. And then they score 2 goals, and then they come back, and they're like, what?
What
And it's
happened?
like-
Y'all
like-
missed the first 2.
Yeah, I got my
Oh, you
Yeah,
son
but you
of
got
a
your beer.
bitches.
And it's like going to get a beer in the first like 5 minutes is crazy. That's
Okay.
crazy.
Dude, why didn't you walk up to the
So
same
check it
room?
out. I got the beers, and this guy was buying a shirt.
Yeah.
So I saw when they gave the penalty, and I was like, "Imkes, charge!" I was like, "Look," and he wouldn't pay attention to me. Even somebody went, "Hey, your friend's calling you," and this was still like, "Yeah, I want this size. I want this size." So I was like, "Dude," and then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss the penalty." They scored the penalty.
They gave you 2 chances to get back inside.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh, yeah,
when I
that's
scored the
true,
first
bro.
penalty, I was like, "Charge!" I was like, "Oh man!" And then they made him redo it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck you, dude." I went to go see it, and I saw the second goal when they scored the first penalty, and then I went to go look for him. I was like, "Dude, I'm just gonna go upstairs," and I saw the second goal when he cut the goalie and made him sleep, and then he scored. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh," and he's like, "You piece of shit!
Hey,
You didn't
man.
wait for me." Fuck
Hey,
you.
bro, I know this.
Halon's more important than you.
Bro,
Right.
I know this dude for years. He got me into it. It's like I look up and I was like, "Where?" He left.
Shit.
He gone.
And I could hear the crowd. I was like, "They scored." I don't give a shit though when I go sit down.
The second one was a gift from Caicedo.
Yeah.
He just played it directly into Holland's path.
Hey, that faked him nice though, dude. It looked like he was gonna kick, and he just let the goalie, dude.
That was
nice.
Zach told us Caicedo's first meaningful
Blunder?
meaningful minutes with Chelsea.
Oh,
in a
Chelsea,
while.
really?
He'd been at Copa, just got back, hadn't got a lot of time, and it showed a little bit.
All right.
That's kind of crazy too. Like we think about all the players that have not come back from Euros.
The list is so.
It's very extensive at this point. Exactly.
Besides, Kovacic and Gavardio back.
Yeah.
But everyone else is gone.
Exactly. So we were missing Akanji, Ake, Bernie,
Diaz.
Ruben,
Yeah.
okay, Walker, Phil,
Kevin,
and Stones. Thank you, and Kevin
Hey, Doku.
and Doku.
Yeah.
That's a massive.
Yeah,
list.
that's a massive
That's a
starting
team
11
itself.
right there.
Yeah, that's a team.
The
itself.
entire defense, pretty much, except for Yashko, has been gone. So
Well, I'm going to let you guys finish up what we should do going forward once we bring Zach on. But I honestly, this is for me going off camera. It has been honestly one of the best experiences that I've had in my life. I have got not only to bond further with Joe, make a better friend out of Zach, who will be on here in a second, but make even better friends with these fellas right here. It's really astounding to me how far away we live, but yet it's when we get in the same room, it's as if we hang out almost all the time. It was seamless, and that goes so many miles. You know, there's been so many times where I have met people online or through this or through that, and it not really add up to anything or come to fruition as the way I thought it would be. And this is not the case. These guys are 150% like my homies now.
Hell yes.
These two podcasts come together is probably the best thing that could happen for the city landscape, in my opinion. I can't not see us growing even bigger and really starting to touch some of the people that have already been here, whether that be the Noisy Neighbors or anybody that's been here before us. I know that our UK fan base is massive right now. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for being fans. Thank you for doing everything you can with our content. I hope that you guys will give them the same respect. They're good people. They are doing the same exact mission we're doing here. So if you're not already following the Hollywood Kippax, please do so right now. With that, I'm going to go ahead and take my seat off here. We're going to bring Mr. Zach on and have a little conversation with you. So go ahead and hit that intermission for me, bro.
That's fucking sick.
All right, guys. Welcome back from our intermission. Let me introduce to you guys Mr. Zac Westrick.
Oh.
Westrick, excuse me. Westrick.
It's fine. I'm used to it.
Sorry, bro. Joe and Zach have been very good friends for a long time. It was very awesome to be able to share this experience with him as a Chelsea Blue and us being Sky Blues. So let's get into it. Joe, I'll let you go ahead and lead this off now.
Zach, how was your family trip to Notre Dame to go see Chelsea? That was your first time seeing them live, right?
Yeah, so that was my first experience with Chelsea. As we both know, last year I was supposed to join you guys on the East Coast when they played Brentford, and a family emergency happened the day of the game, morning of the game. So had to run home real quick. So we were unable to do that. However, it set up a surreal experience here in Columbus. But South Bend was amazing. I was thoroughly impressed with the atmosphere. I had never been to Notre Dame. The campus was gorgeous. The field was great. It was a small. It felt a lot smaller, and maybe that's just because I'm used to games in the shoe. But it was a great experience, and it was a good atmosphere. The girls loved it, and it was really neat to see because that was their first soccer match ever. And to see their experience with it and how they took it all in, and it was 95 degrees down there it was just baking. And my 7-year-old, we went out and got pretzels, and she was ready to go. She was ready to go back, and I'm like, hold on, like you look like a cherry tomato. Like let's just pump the brakes a little bit. But it was good to see and a good experience for them.
Yeah, we were talking, and even though the result wasn't probably what you guys had wanted it to be, the experience of taking your kiddo and your wife to their first match at an iconic location like that, just the experience itself was like phenomenal. So
for sure,
what the price of admission?
Exactly. Like you hope that they win. If they don't, that's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? Today, scoreline wasn't in your favor, but I saw you smiling ear to ear pretty much the entire.
Bro, I had a blast. Like I didn't care. I went into it knowing that the result probably wasn't going to go in our favor, but it didn't matter to me. Like preseason is great. It's a great learning experience for the players. It's a great learning experience for And side note, this is Chelsea's 363rd manager in the last 3 years. Probably. So all these players are learning another new system. It's a learning experience, and just to take the whole thing in, do it with my boys, meeting great new friends. It did. Colby touched on this. Like, I don't care what team you represent. Like, there's something about soccer fans that is unlike any sport. You can be opposing fans and still mesh. Like, you can hate each other on the pitch, but as soon as the 90 strikes, like, it's fine. And that's one experience that I don't see, especially this is in the Rust Belt here. College football is life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like friendships end, family ends because of sports. Like that's something that I don't have that when I watch soccer, and that's what's drawn us, to our friendship. And it's just there's nothing better than Ohio Stadium. All those fans. 71. Shout out to you guys because that was a hell of a crowd. I was worried going into Celtic. There was not a lot of fans there. It was very bare, and I was like, "Oh man, I really hope that they show out for Ohio." And well done.
This town's kind of a soccer town. One of the more.
Yeah. So Columbus built the very first soccer-specific stadium in the United States.
That stadium is fucking beautiful.
Oh
Oh my god. Training was so cool to see. My God, that was beautiful. Listen, when we were all sitting in the River Club and we were watching when City came on, man, bro, that was special to me. Even when we were sitting across the field, and what was it, 136 show?
Yep,
136.
We were sitting at 136. Actually, shout out to everybody that we took pictures of when we saw you from across the way, and our homeboys, the Kippax. That was hilarious. But seriously, that is probably one of the most beautiful stadiums I have ever been in the experience of it itself, it kind of almost makes me want to be a crew fan because there's honestly like of all the stadiums that are in the MLS aside from like Austin's actually a pretty fucking cool stadium too, but like that stadium, it was what every soccer fan, every football fan dreams of. You're that close to the pitch, and you just feel that involved in what's going on. And maybe that felt a little bit different because there was probably like 4,000 or 5,000 people, even if that, that were there attending training. But it was even if there were the 30,000 some that are able to get into that place, it still would have felt that intimate to me.
So every seat is the best seat in the house.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Spot on.
And today at Ohio State, damn, that's the biggest wave I've ever seen.
That was insane. Because it was going.
I was like, look at the
$3-4
top.
minutes.
The top is doing it too. I was like, damn.
That's a regular Saturday for boy Zach right here.
And that's the crazy thing. Like I was telling them, my very first Buckeye game, I was 2 rows from the top.
Oh, shit.
And that's a daunting ass view.
Yeah.
Like, it's just massive, everything. And it's just the atmosphere there on Saturdays is grossly amazing.
I gotta come back to that.
Yes, absolutely. Did you guys get over to the Fan Fest at all? You guys
No.
just
Well,
pretty
we
much
had
go
a
straight
late
in
night
this
at the
morning?
casino.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Hey, I heard you got a win. I heard you got a win
struck-
last night, guys.
We
I got a win.
struck the rock and we got the water or the wine, whatever the came. But I turned $10 to $100. You know what I
That's
mean?
always a good night.
Yeah, and so but we were there till like 3 in the morning. Yeah. Well, okay, all right, thanks.
I know. You forgot the
Thanks for the
$10
method.
came from a butt.
The method, according to Will, helped me out. So shout out. But
Who gave you the $10 from a butt?
and okay, so yeah. But
We said that.
No, we had a great time, dude.
we had a great time. But we woke up and then like we looked at the window and it was raining at one point. And so we were like,
Yo, can you guys talk about that too?
were you guys getting rained on in the parking lot?
We got down.
Great time.
We got down there. We got set up. We had in our cups because in Ohio you're at the stadium at least you can't have open.
No, it's
containers.
Ohio period.
It's Ohio
They're
period. Okay.
finicky as
Oh,
fuck.
So you
shit,
can't be
see,
just
really?
walking around with that
Oh,
beer.
God.
You'd be in
You guys
trouble
are
real quick.
weird.
So we had to
Yeah.
make
Dude,
sure
did you
you.
hear what he said?
Yeah, I know.
Shout out to our
We're
neighbors
walking
who
around
gave
with
us
a
some
bag
red
of
cups.
Pacificos on the campus, dude,
They
drinking.
would have.
Chugging.
You're lucky, Popo
You got
saw
lucky.
you. They would have.
You got
They would
lucky.
have
No
given you
wonder
guys a
everybody
ticket.
was looking at us.
Well, they should have told you. The locals near us were like, "Hey, we noticed that y'all finally got some cups. They traded us. They gave us some cups because we didn't have any.
Yeah, he
left
said
here."
your neighbors give
Yeah,
you
so they were, and he came when we were
Hey,
talking.
oh.
He was like, if I would have seen you guys just walking around with my came over and told you like that. I know how it is because they tailgate for all the Ohio State games. But we were chilling, we were drinking, we had some snacks. It gave us a little sprinkle, which actually felt really good. And then for maybe 15 minutes, it rained pretty heavy. And then we just hopped in the car.
Can we talk about the old trapper that we were eating? Okay.
Ooh, that was
Listen, guys. If you're ever out there and you see Old Trapper beef jerky and shit in the grocery store, do yourself a favor, get the double smoke if you find them, and get the jalapeno and eat them at the same time.
One of each.
You'll thank me later.
Well, how about yesterday's hot chicken? I
bubble guts galore.
Dude, I had the revenge of that first thing as soon as I opened my eyes. It's like as soon as I opened my eyes, my body activated and said, beep, beep, beep. I was like, oh shit, dude. Oh my god.
I thought you were gonna talk about Colby's chicken that he made last night.
Oh no, that was bomb, dude.
And I was gonna say that was
No.
fire.
Opposite
The only
of
thing we were missing was some tortilla cheese.
Oh, dude.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that was great.
We started this morning. We had for breakfast. Colby made us biscuits with the boss.
Yes,
from
I did.
last
Yeah.
night. We still got more. So
Nice.
that was solid.
I definitely made English
Bro,
biscuits.
handmade. So that shit was
Beautiful.
If I may say something like, you know what we noticed on the way over there? All the M's in the stadium is crossed out.
Oh yeah.
So at first we're like, That's funny. This is moral, but this is oral now. That's fucking sick.
I was dying, dude. That shit was funny.
And then, so we're doing interviews.
Did somebody tell you?
Yeah,
during
somebody
halftime,
told us.
Yeah.
And a gentleman had a Michigan. And
Old
That's
strategy
That's
copy.
ballsy.
look at that. There was only 2 though.
They're lucky.
Yeah. And he's like, bro, people fucking hate us out here.
Yeah.
And I was like that one meme from Hangover with all
The numbers are in your
Yeah.
I was like,
head.
that's the, every fucking M, every M we saw was crossed out. We're like, whoa.
They don't do that here.
No.
And it was red. It was crossed out
No,
in red.
yep.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
Hardcore.
and you were speaking about it doesn't matter what team you are, where you're from. We were interviewing some other
United.
podcasts,
United.
and this United dude just gets in the middle of the goddamn interview, like, and somebody grabbed him and just shoved him to the side,
God.
and he was like, "Oh no, I'm just waiting for my homie." I was like, he goes, "Man, you guys don't want to interview me."
Yeah.
We were like, "Dude, we do."
Like Zach said, the beautiful thing about the sport, is that we're like, bro, get in here. We want in-spot content.
Yeah, he's like, "You don't want to interview me." This was like, "Yeah, we do want to interview you." First question: you have big balls to fucking be around here.
Yeah.
We're like, how are you? You're okay. We're interviewing the ops right now. That shit was funny.
Colby spent probably 20 minutes today, and I'm talking 20 minutes like of each section, of each 30-second section that he bantered and badgered every Liverpool, Arsenal, and United fan that we
Anybody
saw
that walked by.
all day.
As he should.
All
Any
day.
Liverpool person that walked by, Colby, what was it?
Scousing is a crime.
I said scousing. I said scousing is a crime.
Every
that was
Liverpool
the
person
first
we saw.
one. Second one is like I'm pretty sure I told everybody that toilet paper was on sale.
Yes. Yes. Every time you walk by a Man United person.
There was that chick with the United jersey, and then this was like, do a chant on that. I was like, dude, she's gonna start crying, and we're gonna get a talk. They're gonna cancel us, dude.
Yeah, we had a
Leave him
United
alone.
guy right next to me. His girl was next to me, and then he was like in a United kid. He was chill the
Yeah, he
entire
was
time. He was cool. There was a guy down a little farther in front of us giving us all kinds of shit about his 2 Champions League. We only have one. And then he tried to
every single time this guy would throw out like some sort of slight insult at me or City, we ended up either scoring or doing something that made him get
At one point, I'm just looking at him like, bro, shut the fuck up. You are ruining everything for us right now.
In the second half, the 2 goals that he was talking shit about Oscar Bob goes down, puts Malagusto down, and scores. And then he tries to like get up and walk. He was, in fairness, he was very playful about it. He wasn't being a dick.
Oh no,
there was a lot of fun.
He was
He was
super
a
cool
good
about
sport,
it.
but as soon as he was running his mouth about Oscar
Real
Bob,
banter that actually happened, and how often that happens in America. Like true good banter is
Good
very
nature.
far few in between. The guy that was there tonight, if he ends up catching this some way somehow, shout out to you because you were awesome to fuck.
it was
with.
fun.
Yep.
But he was like talking about Oscar Bob score. Then he like leaves, comes back and playing around, says something else, and then Holland scores his third. So it was like every time I was like, that's why I told Zach, I was like, bro, you gotta tell this dude to shut the fuck up. Because every time he says something,
I think your exact words were, "Go get your boy, man."
Facts.
Like, get your man.
This karma for him running his mouth. Because every time he said something, we put the ball
There was
back in
somebody
the
behind
net.
us too, a Chelsea fan. I was like, when they almost scored, they're like, "Oh!"
Yeah. And we said,
Twice when they.
but I was like, Reese, you don't got shit. And someone was like, yeah, talk shit, bro. Talk shit. I was like, oh shit.
I think in the second half when Ortega was still playing, and he moved forward, and we thought the ball's gonna be like.
Oh yeah, we celebrated
Over
him.
this
And they fucking
Yeah.
missed it.
Fucking
And I was like,
Enzo.
oh
Oh
my
my God.
And they missed
I saw it like
"Ah."
my eyes got super big. I saw the play. I'm like, yes. And then he fucking puts it wide. And I'm like,
And then all of us celebrated.
You can't say as a native
Ohioan.
Ohioan
That is so extra. Ohioan might make sense.
Ohio.
Ohioan. That's a lot.
Ohioan.
Ohioan.
Ohioan?
Ohioan.
That sounds like really bomb drugs.
This guy.
Ohioan. No, but I was gonna say that it's cool because you can say that you've been a couple of games.
That's dope, dude. I celebrate a lot in March Madness, the Buckeyes, dude. There's a fucking silence.
No, but he's a resident there, right? And he saw his team score
That's
a
what
goal
I'm
there.
saying, bro.
They didn't win. Okay, it's
Yeah.
preseason.
You got 2.
Yeah.
But he scored 2.
Fucking Raz This dude,
That-
we were talking before the match. We were talking about the score line and who was going to score. He was like, I guarantee you fucking Raz is going to score. That's what he does against you.
Yep.
And he fucking uses his left foot out of the air, bangs
Volley.
it home.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, Raz
Was that a one on Scott?
No, that one was Ortega.
Yeah, that was on Ortega.
You said it wasn't Scott's fault. But every time Scott comes in, so he scores. Like right in the first 5 minutes.
It's not like he's like.
First or second string keeper. You know what I mean?
And it wasn't like it was something that he probably should have stopped.
Sick ass volley.
He's you mean to tell me he's an autopilot like Messi in the MLS?
That's when Raz plays us 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
It happens every fucking time.
Let's just not talk about
Hey,
Yeah,
guys-
Robert Sanchez, brother.
guys, can I sidebar something real quick? 'Cause
Yeah.
I just went through the comments.
Okay.
I just went through the comments, and Zach, cool that you didn't get on it, but I'm gonna get on now. So George has been in here for a while. Thank you for tuning
George
in.
Aldapa?
Hey, Chelsea guy. George's
Yep.
a Chelsea guy.
George Aldapa.
Hey, George.
Let's
Coach
supposed to be here, but what?
I want to thank Ellie the 10 for shouting us out for the chance. That was cool. But we had a auspicious couple from another podcast come in
Said
and make some
podcast,
noise. We had Mr. Joey McCune come in and say Kimmich can also play right back, center back, and in the 8. So
Sure,
it'd
but
be a
he's
genius
not going to
move.
leave.
Sure, yeah.
We would love to have him, but
Please.
that's just wasn't
Yeah.
going to be in the cards.
Please, Joey, stop being a dickhead.
Way to say
Come
what's up, dude.
talk to us for once. You're not that cool.
Thank you, dude. Thank you for saying what's up.
Shout out to his girlfriend, who we thought was a fake account for a long time.
Shout out to her.
She shouted out her boyfriend's podcast, and we thought, thank you very much. We like those guys too. We've liked them for a really long time. It'd be cooler if they talked to us and not about us.
Shout out City
And
Ramble.
it's all followed her now.
But
Shout out City Ramble.
Um,
Thank you for the photograph. We love
Yeah,
you
hey,
guys.
City Ramble, if you're on here, thank you for the photograph.
We're blessed to
for
have you. We're
the
blessed to
interview.
be in your presence.
It was
Yeah.
a blessing being in your presence. Sure.
You guys just know so much about City, and you guys have to just, fly high above us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys are surely a cut above.
Totally. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in. 29 of you here on X, 4 of you here on YouTube. Usually our number's a little bit bigger, but we understand why tonight because it is 10:30 Eastern time. A lot of our Mank listeners are probably fucking asleep.
I would hope they're asleep.
I hope they're
Yeah,
asleep.
if they're
So
not
they'll be
asleep,
catching
go
up-
see a
they'll be
GP.
catching all of this tomorrow morning.
Go get it.
But so guys, we're here in about an hour. It's been literally, I think all of us can sit here and say it's been the best weekend.
Yeah.
This has been the best 4-day investment we've put into this club. The love and appreciation and the admiration and the loyalty, even more so, is more abundant than it was probably 5 hours ago. We want to thank City for bringing over the team on a U.S. tour. It means a lot to us. It really, really does, especially to the real fans. Obviously, we understand that the fan base is growing still here in the United States and even just the game in and of itself. But to see as many people as we did out for both sides today was the fucking coolest. And I can't wait for this game to continue to grow here in the States. I hope that as time goes by that our brothers and sisters across the pond start to see how incredibly serious we are about this team, or how serious we are about this game and helping it grow here on this side of the world. Yeah. That's all I've got to say on that. Do we have any final takes for you guys out there?
If you brought to Los Angeles, it's great weather. There's no rain delays.
It's expensive.
And you probably wouldn't make it back home.
I'm gonna have to take out a second mortgage just to get out.
And you get the privilege of getting stuck in Century 105 traffic.
Oh my God,
And
it's amazing.
pay for $75 for parking.
You think this was traffic?
Oh, dude, I know what the 10 and the 5 and the 101 and all that shit is. I know. It's very, very similar to the DC area. Dude, 495, 66, the 95, the Beltway up to Baltimore, no fucking Joe,
Joe's like, Joe's getting like PTSD.
Dude,
he's really like that,
I'm
though.
up and down that all the time for my daughter's soccer games because we play in Virginia and like out towards them a little bit. So I'm up and down that shit all the time.
I'm thinking about it. Like,
No, that you read exactly, Mom. I was like sitting in my car, stop and go traffic, like on the way to like to a match.
When I landed,
Is that what you look like when you?
Oh,
Just like
I don't
that.
think that's good.
Miserable fuck.
Oh my god.
I was so happy when it's not seeing
Yeah, traffic here is not as bad as
It's coming.
what we
It's
got.
coming. I got to the fucking, to the Airbnb, and I was like, damn, there was no traffic. Holy shit.
No, there was traffic. That's just normal traffic.
There's like 4 cars on the freeway.
I don't know what you guys are used to, but us normal folk, you know.
I would just
Oh, man.
echo kind of what Colby was saying about the brotherhood that kind of went down in this Airbnb this weekend, and how awesome it is when you talk to people online. Like we've all been on each other's podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
We've been chatting, offline frequently, and to have such, like, the word Colby used was seamless, where y'all walked in the first time, it was hugs, and immediately, like, we known each other for more than the past year.
Straight
so
to
that
partying, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was just awesome. We don't, most of, all of us probably don't get a whole lot of time like this, where it's just the boys hanging out because of family, kids, whatever it might be. So
And 3,000 miles of separation.
that part too. Minor detail.
Erroneous on both accounts.
I'm just thankful you guys came over and spent so much time with us and did all this, man. This was a fucking awesome experience and something that we're not gonna soon forget. So
First of many, man.
Yeah,
First of
I've
many.
never left the hood. Never. So to fly out.
He got out the barrio.
You know what I mean? I went straight to, they're like, you going to Texas? Never been to Texas. You going to Ohio? Never been to Ohio. Never met these guys. They're from Virginia. You know what I mean? I'm like, there's a lot of new stuff. I met Zach, fucking cool ass dude.
Thank you.
And we all went to this amazing event. So it was like, oh shit, this is cool. I want to start traveling more. This is fucking awesome, bro. And of course, it was exciting to meet you guys, especially to be on this fucking podcast. I want to stop talking about it all weekend with you guys. What's gonna happen? But yeah, dude, the hospitality you guys give us, a fucking one. The hospitality from Ohio, even though we had some weird ass stories.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But you know what I mean? But Ohio is fucking awesome. When I go to the market, I feel like I'm in a movie. You know what I mean? Because everyone is just busy and moving, and the fruits are so fucking beautiful. Yes, dude. The prices are fucking amazing. Gas is so cheap.
This is so fucking weird.
Welcome
You're
to
like-
not living in California, boys.
Because over there they're like a pound of apples $6. Over here is 3 limes for $1.
This
And
motherfucker.
I'm like, oh shit! I went to the liquor store and it said mix and match beers for $12. I was like, oh my god, I can buy now, dude. I've never seen that.
it's the
dude.
little things.
Yeah,
Little
dude.
things,
And the lady, the cashier was like, oh, well, where are you guys from? We're from LA. Oh, you guys need to move over here.
Yeah.
Move over here.
Yeah.
LA's too hot.
Hey, just
You
do
guys
me a
will love
favor.
it here.
Just do me a favor. If you're 80 years old, stop
Yeah.
Oh,
It's time. It's come.
driving. I got Uber.
Give the keys to your-
There was some weird parts of Ohio, but it's okay.
You
You got weird parts everywhere. Wherever you go,
Yeah.
it's gonna be weird.
But yeah, overall, dude,
Hotel.
I love what happened this weekend. Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, let's do it again next
That was a
year.
beautiful sport, man.
Next year,
Club
baby.
World Cup.
Let's go.
Club World Cup's
Yeah,
coming.
and it
Absolutely.
sounds like City will be participating in it because I was worried because teams like Real Madrid are already saying that they're going to be pulling out of it or whatever. But they are
They came out and they
champions.
said that they are indeed. I think that was like a ploy by Perez.
Yeah. That
They
dude.
did officially say that they would never withdraw from that competition just due to its heritage and things like that. So they are going to participate in it.
Nice.
But
Interesting.
I was on that too. I was like, are you really going to pull
They
out
saw
this?
100
Yeah.
zeros on the check.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
Okay,
I
never
think that's
mind.
They
exactly.
added a zero.
Oh,
yeah,
they
yeah,
added
double.
20 million, 200 million.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
We're
Yeah.
Inflation in America.
Oh yeah.
we can get dumb Americans to pay twice as much for our kids. Yes.
Great
Oh,
success.
man, that's
On
too close to home.
Both teams are going to get it. Chelsea's going to be in
Chelsea.
it.
Yeah.
It's City, Arsenal, and Chelsea qualified.
Yep.
Yeah. So and then but a bunch of other teams. But yeah, I'm looking
Real
forward.
quick,
to
how did Arsenal qualify? Because it's on coefficient, right? Because
Yeah.
I know they didn't win anything.
FIFA rankings.
It's all the zeros, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, London is blue. You fucker.
They also do classes on gooning at a BDSM camp.
Whoa.
From downtown.
Ooh. Legal or Tetra's a good game.
Hell yeah, dude. That was a
Oh my
BDSM.
god! All right, fellas. Well, it's about that time. We've been here for a little over an hour. We've given these guys, everybody that's in here, our best, I think. We're going to go off and we're going to solidify this weekend and party it down. Thank you for everybody that showed up tonight. I also want to send a special shout out to everybody we ran into this weekend. Nigel Gregory, author of To the Blue Moon and Back. If you have not got a copy of that, make sure you head over to Amazon.com, type in To the Blue Moon and Back, and make sure you get the most updated copy of the three-peat version of that. All right. Also want to send an extra special shout out to Mulv from the Noisy Pod. Love running into you, bruv. I hope that we can work something out here in the future. Shoot, who else did we run into this weekend, guys?
That lady ran into it.
The City Ramble guys. Yeah, do better. Do better. And also don't take my comic or my word bubble thing idea again. That's an issue. I'm gonna let it slide this time. Next time I won't be so nice.
You're done now.
You said that shit at the same time.
Hey, but really though, nonetheless, nice running into you guys. Glad you, at least the one of you, made it over here to America and witnessed the game. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate all of the English followers, whether they be Mank or London tourist types. Thank you for coming over and hanging out and giving America a shot. I know there's some work to be done, but we're doing our best. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing our podcast, because we want to grow the community beyond just talking into a microphone and talking mad shit about our other clubs and our club as well. But with that, I'm going to leave you with a chant, because that's something that all of us need to learn better here in America and starting, right? So here's a really easy one for everybody who's just tuning in, who's just broadening the horizons to the podcast community as well as Man City. This is a very simple one. It's very classic, and it's very much a quintessential chant that you must know. So without further ado.